So, Margaret, we have the program honoring your precious heart, and I think it's good to, when we reflect on this one day retreat, what would you say is the main essence?
There's a few things really, I would say, but we talked about it's so important to give yourself time to come back to yourself. And we talked about the beautiful self, the self that is peaceful, loving, joyous. I mean, that's the real us. We're not angry people or frustrated people or irritated. That's just almost habits that we've acquired along the way. Maybe we learned them from others, actually. So the first step always is, before anything happens, to give yourself time, maybe every morning, just to kind of go in and just be with yourself, your real self, that being that has these amazing qualities. And of course, a little bit I talked in the program about going up. And of course, there is an amazing source of all these qualities that's always there, available 24/7, 365 days a year. It's just so incredible, really, that anybody can tap into if they wish to. And if we've gone in and gone up and we've sustained ourselves well, then when things happen, we respond differently. We can respond more from the real self. But the drama of life is so designed that sometimes things in us, that the wounds, the hidden memories that haven't been resolved, they will be triggered. And we talked about that model that showed, that we will get triggered. And it's important to recognize that when the feeling comes up in me, it is my feeling. And the best I can do is just to be with that feeling, and it will dissipate. And of course, once you've learned to really understand the true self, there's part of you that, okay, you know that you're going through this feeling, but you also know that's not the true you. It's like you're going through the layers of what you've acquired. But when we can just be with that energy, however uncomfortable it might be for a while, you will always feel much better than if you project it out and make someone else responsible for that. That kind of just builds up bad relationships. Whereas at least if you own the feeling and you work through it, after it's dissipated, you usually get some kind of realization, and you get a sense of the freedom, and that freedom is joyous. So I remember once someone saying, keep going through the feeling, because on the other side there's freedom. And that's helped me a lot to know that, okay, whatever feeling is coming out, however painful it might seem or how disorientating it may be, on the other side of this, there's my personal freedom.
It seems quite a natural, automatic reaction to avoid pain.
Yeah.
And so we are pain avoiding beings. So when you feel the pain, you say just allow the pain to be there. Or what would be the best medicine when you want to avoid the pain?
Well, yeah, yesterday we did look at having like a motto or a gesture, and I think this is really helpful when you can quite quickly use something. It might be something around your own physical heart, like, it's okay, it's okay. Something like that quickly brings it back to yourself, because actually you're going to elongate the pain when you project and when you suppress. And as we get to understand that, I mean, from my own experience, it doesn't, the strength of these emotions, they can come up very fast, like a whoosh, but they don't last for that long in that kind of level of power. It will all dissipate. And And I think the more that we realize that, we get the courage to go through it. When we think, oh, it's going to last for years or forever, you know, then we'll do something to get rid of it. But we know it's actually quite short-lived, and that the result is going to be so much better. Then I think that gives us more courage. But I think it's really about a self-talk as well. So, you know, it's there's a lot now more and more about self-compassion. So when a feeling comes up, you know, be really kind to yourself. You know, tell yourself it's going to be okay. We'll get through this. You know, on the other side of this, there's joy, there's happiness. So I think the gesture, the motto, but also encouraging yourself. And of course, you know, as I mentioned, if you've had that practice of going in and up, then so into your true self, up to that source of goodness, then you'll feel that help.
Maybe we can close this part of going back to the essence with some kind of self-talk you mentioned, like to have meditation is very beneficial, but how can we talk to ourselves so that the words we say and the conscious, our mind is dedicated to heal our inner pain? Maybe you can lead us into a short guided meditation which we can learn to apply to heal our inner pain.
Yeah, and I think you've made a very good point, because meditation really is self-talk, but a very nice self-talk. You're very consciously talking to yourself about very beautiful things. So yeah, let's just take a few moments to relax the body. Just bring ourselves into this moment. And there's just so much beauty in being present with myself. It's also giving myself some time just to step back from life, step back from all the thoughts about life and the doingness and the shoulds and the shouldn'ts and the oughts and the people and the places, and just giving myself a chance to experience my own being. It's almost like I am the still point behind life. And that still point emanates peace. So behind the eyes is that still point. It's like a tiny star, subtle, non-physical. And the true energy emanates is peace. And the more we start to experience that true peace of the self that's behind life, we start to enjoy being with ourselves. We start to love ourselves as that being of peace. And that brings happiness in life. Now I'm freer. I'm not reliant on life to make me feel peaceful or happy. I'm discovering that these qualities are already naturally mine. And I take just a bit of time to come back behind all the thoughts of life and to be with myself. So peace is already yours, as is love and happiness. It's just really worth taking the time to discover yourself and explore it and then express it in life. That is the success of life. Good luck on your life journey.